What is up, everybody? Holliwood Cole here for another Smooth Ramblings. I believe this is episode 5, and for those of you that are not familiar with Smooth Ramblings, you may be a new listener. This is kind of a side project of the H&K video game experience. The H&K video game experience being Holliwood Cole and Clearfire's video game experience. Clearfire has his fireside chats, and I have the Smooth Ramblings. And if you want the definitive versions of video game reviews or whatever, it's going to be the H&K video game experience. Mega Man 11 is the last one we did. We started these side projects just to be able to express whatever's on our mind if the other one is not ready to do a podcast or whatever, not prepared. For example, Red Dead Redemption 2, what I'm going to do this podcast on. I've been playing it about 20 hours in now, and got a lot of things to say about it. Why they did certain things, I don't know. Why they didn't do certain things, whatever the case is, and kind of feel a little emotional about it. So that's why we have these ad hoc, so to speak, little side projects like Smooth Ramblings and Fireside Chats. So today on Smooth Ramblings, I'm going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, my very first impressions of the game, and I do want to talk about the PlayStation Classic too, just my opinion on that system coming out. So we'll start though with Red Dead 2. So right off the bat, I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. My favorite game in the world ever is Final Fantasy VI for the Super Nintendo. Ton of fond memories about that game. It has a special place in my heart for video games. And that came out a long time ago. I believe it was 93. And has stuck with me since then. Okay. Second favorite, Red Dead Redemption on Xbox 360, the first one. So I really love the atmosphere there. I love all the things you can do. I love the character John Marston. And just, that was one of my favorite games of all time. I've gone back and played it a few times. I've never played it all the way through. One of my favorite things about it was just kind of the side things you can do, like the hunting, the herbalist, and all this kind of stuff, sharpshooting, these little side things that you could do outside of the main story. It's just a Grand Theft Auto in the West, is the way I always described it. And Grand Theft Auto is okay. It's not my favorite game. I enjoy it, but it's just the Western setting and that time period that I really like. I enjoy that kind of stuff. And but what I liked about the skinning and the hunting and the sharpshooting was that you got real rewards for completing them. So just keep that in mind as I'm talking. So Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I just want to kind of give you my, again, first thoughts of what I've kind of already been through here. I'm on Chapter 3. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what the chapter is in terms of the title of it or what's going on or anything like that with the story. But if you've played it, you can get an idea. I literally just got to the place where it gives you Chapter 3. And that's it. I haven't done a single quest in Chapter 3 yet. I've done all of the white quests that pop up and not just stuck to the storyline, anyone that I've seen. So right off the bat, you are the character Arthur Morgan, and you are a member of a gang, Dutch's gang. And it's at a time period in 1899 to where the outlaws and all the gangs are kind of dying out, and it's starting to become civilized, a land of laws, frontiers going away, so on and so forth. So right off the bat, you are a member of a gang instead of John Marston, where you just wander up as an ex-outlaw in the old one, and you're kind of figuring out this guy's past. He's trying to kill Dutch that killed his brother. This is all Red Dead Redemption 1. So you kind of latch on to that one character and want him to succeed. This one, you're a member of a gang, and the gang is on the run, and you're trying to make money for the gang. And Dutch is the leader of that gang. This is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1, and just in case you didn't know. And John Marston is in this one. He's a member of the gang before they betrayed him. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I can't remember. I guess we'll find out at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2. But now you're kind of playing as a group. You already know who the gang is. There's really no mystery to this guy. There's no development for this guy, Arthur Morgan. You can choose to do good deeds or bad deeds. That'll affect your honor and how people react to you. You get discounts at stores and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to say is, I guess, that just the main character himself is not as involved. I like the guy, I guess. I mean, he's got some cool little one-liners and some funny little, return queeps or whatever, kind of witty. But anyway, so I'm not invested into that part of it. I do like all the other characters. There's a ton of other characters that you're interacting with, and you're kind of just running with the gang the whole time. Okay, so that's the story as far as I'm going to go with it. So the main thing that seems to be the gripe about this game, I haven't read any real reviews on it or anything, but I've actually one I did read. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but it does mention the controls. The controls are like horrendous. I mean, it's just like, dude, what are you thinking? Why would you do this to this game? What happened to just the standard GTA controls? They worked perfectly fine. L2 pulls up my gun, R2 shoots. That is not the way it works here. It depends on, I mean, it's even complicated to say, and I'm sure I'm going to get something wrong. If, the object of a game is to immerse you in that experience. And if you are going to make me think about the control, the button that I'm pushing, to make sure I'm pushing the right one, you automatically have taken me out of that experience. And in a Wild West scenario, it needs to be spot on. I mean, that's all it is to it. Like, for example, L2, usually you still have the wheel that you push L1 and it brings up the wheel, and you use your right analog stick to pick shotgun or whatever you want, whatever you have. But if you're on your horse, then it's, you can get more access to weapons because your horse can carry more. If you run over a rifle and you have a rifle, you have to set your current rifle down to pick up that one. You can't grab all your different weapons and just select one wherever you are. You have to organize it on your horse in terms of which one do I want to take when I get off my horse. This leads to all kinds of problems in missions to where you don't know what the mission is going to entail. I'll take a shotgun and a repeater when I should have taken a sniper. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to have to snipe something or whatever the case. I don't know if I'm going to be close up and I could have taken a sniper. I mean, you always got your pistol. To draw your pistol, you have to push R2. That makes no sense. You can do L1 and scroll up to the wheel there and pick it from there, and it'll draw it out. But R2 draws your pistol. Also, holding it down too long will shoot. So you'll draw your pistol and fire it when all you're trying to do is point it at a guy, or you push the wrong button and you fire off a pistol. And it's like, dude, that happens so many times when I'm trying to sneak up on somebody. I think I got my bow drawn or whatever, and I actually have my pistol drawn. Pow! As I pushed R2. Sometimes pushing L1 will not pull up the weapon because you have to have it out. It's not like it is on the other ones where you just select the weapon you want, and then anytime whatever's selected in that wheel, when you push L2, it pulls up. That's just the easiest thing, but it is not that way. L2 is also what you use to talk to villagers or whoever, other people. And you can interact, you can greet them, you can antagonize them, you can rob them. There's all kind of different things that you can do. But you better not have a weapon out, because then you're going to point it at them instead of talk to them, and then they're going to react accordingly, and they might shoot at you or whatever. You'll get a bounty. You always have bounties. I got bounties and I had bounties in places I didn't even know I'd ever been before. And it's just like, dude, how do I get all these bounties? Bounties, $65 or something on your wanted $65 if they get you. You get bounty hunters out there when you're trying to just go hunting or something like that. You go pay them off, but then the next hour you're going to get another one. Sometimes quests lead you to get them, and so these are just little gripes right here with this kind of stuff that I just do not like. The controls are just, I have no idea why they did the controls that way. I got some speculation, which I'm going to get into in a minute. All right. The other thing is with controls, it's just kind of standard here. So on one mission, I won't give you the details, I'm driving a wagon with two horses, some girls in the back, and some other dude sitting beside me. And I'm driving the wagon and I'm going to town. And then as I'm going to town, a white dot pops up, and white dots just pop up when there's like a little side quest that's happening. So naturally, I turn toward that white dot with the thing. Well, it's actually a stagecoach that breaks down. So I slam into the back of that stagecoach that broke down. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I had to go do whatever I got to do. I won't tell you what it is. Do whatever I got to do. come back, and they're like, all right, cool, that stagecoach is still there. I get in my stagecoach. Guess what? You can't back up in the stagecoach. So that quest is broken because I was drawn to the white dot. I started trying to back up. There's no backup on a wagon that I could figure out. And so I just started whipping the horses real hard to try to get them to run, and maybe it'll push the wagon or turn, make the game glitch or something. One horse died, jumped back up, and ran over the guy I was trying to help, killed him, so I failed the quest. And I had to start all the way over. And it's like, why didn't you just back up? There's so many instances like this where you're like, you're riding your horse and you got to kill rabbits or something to get rabbit pelts. And one will jump out. You don't want to go hunting rabbits. I mean, you can, and that's perfectly fine, but it's perfectly fine and fun to do, I guess. But, sometimes you like to kill two birds with one stone. Okay, I got to travel to this town. Well, I'm just going to be on the lookout for rabbits. Well, so many times a rabbit would jump out, and I'm like, okay, there he is. And I try to pull out my bow or whatever to kill him. And I'm like, dude, it's on my shoulder. I can't pull it out. You have to go to the wheel, select it again so he'll pull it off his shoulder, and then aim it with L2, and then try to stop time in a dead-eye scenario with R3 and aim at the rabbit. The rabbit's there for like a second and a half, and he is out. You don't have time to do all this, so you can't do it like you used to. Stuff like this, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it a slow experience. Everything's slow. Everything, you walk through your camp, you're just creeping. You take your time, select the weapon that you want, like you were in the Old West. Hey, you can't carry 4 rifles into battle. You gotta carry a shotgun or whatever. You always have your gun and your knife holstered. They're trying to do it that way and try to be monotonous, or not monotonous, but just methodical with everything you do. And it's supposed to be like that, and that's part of the experience. So once you kind of realize that, just go, okay, this is how this game is going to be. This is not like the first one. This is not like GTA. Then the sooner you accept that, the better off you're going to be as far as this game goes. They introduce a core system as well. So you got health, stamina, and Deadeye. And Deadeye stays drained. I mean, you build these things up by completing these challenges, like I was talking about. Like the first one is skin 3 deer. It's the hunting one, I think. Skin 3 deer. So when you do that, it starts to give you experiences. There's other little challenges that I've yet to really, there's herbalist and all this kind of stuff. But if there's any more besides those 3 in those challenges, I don't know where they're not 3, but there's several of them: sharpshooter, gambler, and all this. So there's any more than that. That's how I don't know, but that's how you unlock your Deadeye stuff. Stamina you get from running. Health, I'm not really sure how you get that. I guess you just get that from doing challenges as well. But anyway, you have the original circle of life that you had in 1, but now there's in health, there's like a heart there. Stamina, there's a lightning bolt, and Deadeye, there's an eyeball there. And that core will drain depending on, I don't know how it drains that. And once you drain your energy on your Deadeye, then that core starts to drain. Well, guess what? When that core is gone, you don't get your Deadeye back. You got to get your core back. And dude, that is so hard. You got to smoke a cigarette and they'll give you just a little bit back. You got to drink some whiskey to give you a little bit more. I mean, you got to go through all these in the middle of a fight or something. I mean, you got to go through all these different items just to get the core back, and then you have to take another item to get the actual Deadeye energy back. And that works for everything. The same way for health and everything. But you just don't have a problem with health and stamina. But I mean, this is in the middle of a gunfight. I got to go through, and it's not like I can have it ready, a quick select. Like, okay, I'm going to have whiskey here for Deadeye, and then I'm going to have whatever it is, tobacco or something, to give me my energy back. Okay, I got whiskey for the core, tobacco for the energy, and just have them in a quick select and do it. I got to go in there in the wheel and then push R1 to go to items instead of weapons, and then use my left or right R3 control stick to select the item that I want, and then scroll through those items like food. Let's say the cigars or whatever are in food, so I'm scrolling through, okay, baked beans, no, canned peaches, no, I don't want that. And you're going brandy, no, that's what you want, but you scrolling through, there's literally 18, I think, 12 or 18 that I have right now. That stuff grows, and this is the middle of a fight, and it slows down time, but it doesn't stop time. And so, man, it's just stuff like that just I don't really like that they did that. And I still don't understand the quick draw. When you do a showdown, it says hold. This is what it says in the middle of showing the first showdown you get in. It says press R2 and slowly press it down, and it'll give you more time. Okay, great. And so you start doing it, and then you either get killed and have to do it again. I still don't know how to do it. I slow it down, and then I just start pushing buttons and get my guy to draw until he can shoot first. I mean, I don't really understand the point of that. I don't know what was wrong with the old system, but they do not implement that one anymore. So little things like that I don't know why they did that. And what I was getting at with the hunting and all that, every time you finish, like let's just say skin 3 deer, that's not a spoiler, that's one of the first ones you get for hunting. You skin 3 deer, and then it'll be another one, then another one, so on. So I think there's 12 of them or 13 or something. And then you go to a certain area and you can, it's perks that you unlock for doing that instead of just giving you like a hunting satchel or whatever, that you carry more herbs or whatever it would be in Red Dead Redemption 1 that I really liked it. I think it was skin faster and all these things that unlocked as you kind of progress down the perks that were actually useful. And now the perks that I've seen that you have to buy by completing these things are not that useful. I mean, I won't even get into what they are. Just go look at them. But I don't think they're that useful. I mean, one of them is like, I guess I'll tell you, one of them is just like keeps your gun from degrading faster, like by 6% or something for each, and it's like, dude, I've cleaned my gun a handful of times and it only barely gives me any more. I mean, it'll tell you what you're missing when you clean your gun. You gotta have gun oil. And I don't mind that, but you don't really have to do it that much. So, I don't know. Overall, though, the game is fun. I'm enjoying it. It's not sucking me in like Red Dead Redemption 1 did though. I finished Red Dead Redemption 1 in 3 days. That's all I wanted to do. But Red Dead Redemption 2, I enjoy it. I look forward to playing it every night. But, the story is super good. It's supposed to have 100 hours or something ridiculous. I like the stories. I like the characters, the funny stuff that they say and everything. I do like the environment. Of course, it looks better. It's on PS4. The sound effects are awesome. The music is amazing. The acting's great. You expect nothing less from Rockstar. So I don't mean to completely bash the game. It's just some stuff that I don't really understand why they did that. And that's what I was passionate about as I was playing this, and the reason why I wanted to lay down the smooth ramblings. But I do recommend the game. I think that everybody's kind of looking through these rose-tinted glasses, though, because they want it to be so good. And it is good. Don't get me wrong. It is one of the better games. It sold $75 million, or what would it be? Was it $75 million? I think it was $75 million worth. Maybe $750 million. Whatever it was like... let me see here. What was it? 10 million copies. Yeah, so it'd be 750 million. 750 million. So they didn't release the exact number of copies. So you got these different editions that cost more. So they're estimating about 10 million. So the last H&K Mega Man 11, I said 5. Clear said 4.2. We underestimated it by far. I did not think it would be 10 million. I didn't know that. I could see a GTA 6 going for that. But I guess everybody loves Red Dead just like I do. And I do love this game, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still don't understand the controls. Like I said, I'm on Chapter 3. I don't have the controls down pat. I got to think about what I'm trying to do before I do it. And I've been gaming for 32 years. And so, I mean, it's just the fact that you have to do that. And some of the quick draw stuff I do not understand. This is a file. I mean, I have no idea why they did that kind of stuff. So anyway. So that's Red Dead. That's just what I have to get off my chest for Red Dead. Please leave some comments or something if you need to discuss this when I post this on Facebook. If you hear it, and let me know what you think about it, if you agree or disagree. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about the PlayStation Classic. This thing has been getting a lot of hate since its announcement. I mean, people are posting on Twitter about it's already in the bargain bin, the PlayStation bargain bin Classic and all this. Comes out December 3rd this year for $100, and that's what's kind of throwing everybody off. $100, 2 controllers, non-dual shock, and they finally released the list of games. And when I first read the list of games, which I'm going to go over here in a minute, I was a little disappointed And then now I'm kind of like, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this. I kind of like it. I'll probably end up getting one, but I'll just read you the list of names here. Battle Arena Toshinden. I don't know what that is. Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy 7, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations, Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. Okay, so let me just go quickly over these and just kind of give my opinion. So apparently Battle, and I got the prices of each one of these. One of the things that people were saying was like, if you listen to Grifted on our last two H&Ks ago, we were kind of hating on the PlayStation, talking about Wild Arms being like $3 or whatever, which it's not $3, but he's just making a point that some of these games are cheap. Some of these are actually expensive. I went through and found stuff on eBay about what they were going for recently, the completed listings and whatever, and if it had an average price, I went ahead and said that. But anyway, Battle Arena Toshinden. That's supposed to be some fighting game that is kind of underrated or whatever. It's kind of a hidden gem, they say. You can get it for $12 or $15 if you already got a PlayStation. Just want to play that. Cool Borders 2 is a real fun snowboarding game, very popular. I remember playing this one back in the day. I think Clearfire had this one and showed this to me. But I remember enjoying that one. But anyway, that's for $4. Destruction Derby is one of the first ones that came out with. It's just a kind of a classic you're expected to have on there. $10. Final Fantasy 7, of course, $18 for that one. And there's a difference between the green label, it's the greatest hits, and the black label. But, all in all, about $18. Grand Theft Auto 1, $10 you can get. Top down. I owned this one back in the day, and it is difficult, man. It is the very first Grand Theft Auto, of course, and it's like an experimental thing. It had cussing in it, so everybody was like, oh, this is so cool. I can commit crimes in the game. And it's a top down, and you shoot your gun. It's like that old Atari game Battle where you just fire war or something. I don't remember what it's called, where you have a tank or a plane and you push A to shoot, and literally a white square comes out. And it's real small. It's a little bullet. And it's no lock on. It's no any of that. And these enemies have machine guns and they're just mowing you down. It is so hard to hit anybody with these guns. And there's no voice acting. Of course, it's just reading on the bottom. And I don't even remember I don't remember exactly how the scrolling scrolls through. If it does, wait for you to read it and you push a button to go to the next dialogue, or it just reads through. But you don't even know you're being talked to. It's just you'll see if you get this. But it's cool to be like the first Grand Theft Auto, and I'm glad they put that on there. But it's not gonna really really thrill you, I guess. So Intelligent Cube, $43. That's kind of a rare one. Intelligent Cube. I don't know what it is, a puzzle game. All right, Jumping Flash, another puzzle game, $50. So these are two pretty rare games. They're kind of I know Jumping Flash is one of the first ones, or early in the system's life. I don't know when Intelligent Cube came out. I thought it came out about mid-life cycle. I remember that game. I thought it was okay, if I'm thinking of the same one. Metal Gear Solid, that's obviously a classic that needs to be on that system. Holds up today, a lot of fun. $20 if you want to buy that outside the system. Mr. Driller, another puzzle game, never played it, never even heard of it actually, $13. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey is kind of a cult classic. People love this game. I'm interested to play it. That and Rayman, 2D platformers, is expected to be on the system. I can see they're trying to give everybody a little taste, whatever kind of system, whatever kind of game you like, platformers, puzzle games, racing games, or RPGs. Oddworld's $18, Rayman's $13. Resident Evil Director's Cut. So this came out after Resident Evil 1 and 2. They went back into the Resident Evil Director's Cut. $26. That's supposed to be like the perfect horror game. Revelations Persona. This is interesting. Persona series is also another little cult classic. and it is very popular. The only one I've played is Persona 4 on the Vita, and for some reason it is just so this is one of these stupid things. I don't know how I remember, but I just love this about the game, because sometimes you just kind of get stressed out if you're like me, a completionist or whatever. We got to do every little thing. You don't want to miss one side quest. You have to start from your last save because you don't want to miss out on something. But Persona 4, when I turned it on the Vita, it literally tells you, it's a black screen and it pops up in white and it says just relax and enjoy the game. And for some reason that just hit me, just like, yeah, man, I think who cares? It's just a game. The whole point is to enjoy it, and the fact that they did that was awesome. On the Vita, Persona 4 is beautiful. It's very interesting. Some high school kids or something. And same thing for, I don't know exactly the storyline for Persona Revelations. This on PS1, obviously, and it's going to be on the Classic. If you want to buy it on PS1, it's going to cost you more than the whole system here. $140 to buy that one. That is a rare. I don't know if it's rare, but it's expensive. All right. Ridge Racer Type 4, $16 racing game, arcade style racer. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I'm excited about this one. It's $20, $19 for the disc and box. Outside of this, it looks like little Street Fighter characters in like a Tetris or block breaker type of puzzles, and somehow, I don't know how it works. But you get more combos and everything than your person you're playing against, and you will start beating them in a fight, I guess. So that looks fun. I'm enjoying. I'm gonna look forward to playing that one, like with my wife or somebody. So, all right, Siphon Filter. A lot of good memories about this game. I played this one a lot. It's kind of a before Metal Gear Solid type of thing, before anybody knew what they were doing. I don't mean to hate on it. But it's I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I never went back to it. It was $8. Tekken 3. If you're going to have a fighting game on PlayStation, it better be Tekken 3. This is an excellent choice for them. This is one of the greatest fighting games, in my opinion, of all time. Tekken 3. They played a lot with Coach RX over at Jones. Really enjoyed that one. $13. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, $5. Of course, you got the one-shot kills there, where everybody was, back in the day, they had the heroes that were the bullet sponges, and now Rainbow Six is a more realistic shooter. Twisted Metal, I'll come back to Twisted Metal here, because I got something to say about it. Wild Arms, I got Wild Arms 3 here, which is I haven't played it yet, but it's a Western RPG. I think I'll actually like the Wild Arms. I'm excited about playing that one. That one's $27. That's going to be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to that one. I never played that one back in the day. But Twisted Metal, the very first one, they got Twisted Metal 2, 3, Twisted Metal Black. I mean, all these other games. But Twisted Metal 1, the original one, it went from anywhere from $10 to $30 that I saw. And I didn't see a lot of them on there. I don't know if it's just rare or they're just flooded by all of the Twisted Metal 2 and 3s that are on there. But I don't know. I think this is a pretty good lineup. Great job with Final Fantasy. I think Final Fantasy 7. Destruction Derby is good. I mean, it's just a classic one you got to put on there. Cool Borders 2. Great choice. Obviously, Metal Gear Solid. I do like the Odd World, like Resident Evil Director's Cut. Good job with the Persona. Puzzle Fighter's cool. Tekken 3. And I guess Rainbow Six would be good too. And Wild Arms. So they got, let me see. I'm an RPG fan, so let me just see here. I didn't even go into it. Wild Arms is 1. And Persona's 2. And it's going to be Final Fantasy's 3. So 3 RPGs out of 20. I might would have had some more. Here's some of the classics that I wish they would have put on there, though. This is why I don't know why they missed these. Gran Turismo. This was a big deal when it came out. Gran Turismo is real cars that you can trick out. They all supposedly, I mean, they had like, their big thing was they had people, their programmers or whoever, that they were going to go, that they trusted to do this, but to get into cars and drive them around and try to make the controls. You're going to drive in a Mitsubishi GT 3000. We're going to drive around in it. We're going to make the controls of this game feel like, as much as we can, driving that car. Dodge Viper, whatever, even other cars, like older cars. I mean, I think they had a Toyota Celica on there. They had an S2000 maybe. I don't know if they had the S2000 because that came out in. Yeah, I guess they did have to have an S2000. I don't know. I love that. But anyway, that was great. You race around the thing and then you watch a replay and it looked like, it looked good. Such a great game. I don't know why it's not on there. Maybe it's licensing. And I'm going to assume it has to be licensing or whatever. If you could just have free reign to any game, that's what I'm assuming. Which I know that that's not true, but you need to get Gran Turismo on there. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Konami game. Yeah, maybe you can't get it. They got to do it. They're doing a bunch of other things with it. They just released Requiem. Castlevania Symphony of the Night would have been one. Final Fantasy Tactics. You already got 7 on there. Get Tactics. That's a strategy game. I don't see any strategy games on here. That would have been perfect. And for another great RPG that was overlooked, you've heard me say it before, Suikoden or Suikoden 2. Oh, man. That would have been amazing to have on here. Another RPG. That would have had you, 4 RPGs? That's not too many. Get rid of Mr. Driller or something. Jumping Flash. I don't know. I don't mean to hate on these games. I just don't know them. But, I'm just looking. Ridge Racer 4, man. Ridge Racer is the PlayStation thing. I get it. But so is Gran Turismo. And then Vagrant Story, of course. You can get Vagrant Story. And I think... I know you can get Suikoden and Vagrant Story on PlayStation Network, and probably the Gran Turismo and Symphony of the Night, for all I know. They're on the PlayStation Network more than likely. But I know Vagrant Story is for $5. I know Suikoden is. I don't know the price. But Vagrant Story is on the Japanese version, I think. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, Vagrant Story is another RPG. But overall, I think it's not too bad. $100, though, it is pretty steep when you got... it's $20 more than a Super Nintendo one. But I don't know, man. That's Super Nintendo, SNES Classic, and NES Classic had classics. They had so many classics, they couldn't even include them all. I don't know. We talked about this in one of the podcasts back in the day that, what games would you have on this thing? I couldn't really, you knew it was Metal Gear Solid, you knew it was Final Fantasy, and you kind of knew it was going to be Destruction Derby. Other than that, who knows? Resident Evil. But anyway, I'm still on the fence about this one. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. I love the SNES Classic. The NES Classic I did not get, and they had them available at GameStop, and I went there the day to pick up my Red Dead Redemption 2, but I didn't get it. So I don't know. I'm still kind of like, man, you can get these games besides Persona, $140. But anyway, I was going to tell you, all of these games added up. If you wanted to buy a PlayStation with all these games, instead of $100, it would be over $500. It's about $505. To buy all these games in a PlayStation to play. So not a bad deal when you look at it that way. But anyway, guys, appreciate you guys listening. I just wanted to lay down my thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2 and the PlayStation Classic. We got a very special, very good H&K coming out. We're going to lay that down this weekend. I don't want to give it away, but you'll see it when it drops. That's going to be it's going to be another. I'll give you a little hint. It's going to be another 3 classic NES game that we're doing. We really enjoy doing that one. We get a lot of good feedback from that, and that's one of the funnest ones we've ever done. So we want to do it again. But anyway, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, not Facebook. Hit the H&K site up on Facebook, HNKEXP. Like us there. We still got some contests coming out for all the Facebook likes. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at HolliwoodKole, HOLLIWOODKOLE. I have some fun with Twitter and posting some fun stuff on Instagram as well. But anyway, go give us a like and a review, and we'll see you on H&K.